Tom Emmer. Congressman, thank you so much for joining us. Look, the Republicans there in the state are calling for resignation. Do you think they should do that? And should they go so far as to try to impeach the governor?
Look, he should resign. He's a total embarrassment, Jason. It's great to be with you. It wasn't that long ago that we served together. So, happy for your success on this deal. Tim Waltz, you look at Nick Shirley. You were reporting on his video, Jason. Nick Shirley found more fraud in one day than Tim Waltz has found in 7 years. It's absolutely criminal what's been happening. Not only is it the $250 million largest pandemic fraud case in the country, but you're dealing with housing stabilization fraud. They created this program back in 2020, Jason. It was $2 million a year. That's what the estimate was. Guess what? They shut it down last October after they'd sucked out $161 million, and it was shut down because of fraud. You're talking about child care centers. There's autism. 80 autism centers are under investigation. And on the Somali issue, all right, not all Somalis are criminals. I'll give you that. But 90% of the people being charged with these crimes, Jason, are from the Somali community. Tim Waltz and our former colleague, who's now our Attorney General, Keith Ellison, have looked the other way for 7 years and allowed billions of dollars of Minnesota taxpayer money to be bilked out of Minnesota. And frankly, a lot of it has gone back to Somalia, to al-Shabaab, the terrorist organization in Somalia.
Congressman, though, I got to say candidly, it begs the question about Congress, because if this has been going on for 7 years and the FBI Director Kash Patel has said it's been going on, why does the United States keep funding it? Why does the United States Congress, how come they're not using the power of the purse to say, no, we had the first case, you're not going to get it? But you know what? When you do continuing resolution after continuing resolution, billions of dollars kept going to Minnesota. Why?
The Republicans in the House, and I would argue the Senate, although I serve in the House, would agree with you, Jason. It's one of the reasons that in the Working Families Tax Cut Act, also known as the Big Beautiful Bill, we started to put some serious reforms on Medicaid, because we know that states are abusing it, and we also have known about this fraud issue. I got to tell you, Jason, we've been trying to sound the alarm on this for the past 3 years. It's just been growing exponentially. It actually took our president, Donald J. Trump, to bring the issue national attention before anybody started reporting on it. So thanks to you and others at Fox, and thanks to the other outlets that are actually finally shedding light on this, and even Nick Shirley, over 110 million people have already viewed that video.
And I think there are people, look, they're living in Minnesota, say Rochester, and they're getting by on a Social Security check that's $800, maybe $1,000 a month. I guess it begs the question, why is it that Nick Shirley, in like one visit, can go figure this out? And why isn't the next day somebody in handcuffs? We're going to sick hundreds of thousands. We got Department of Justice, 110,000 people. Homeland Security, 245,000. Health and Human Services, hundreds of thousands of people. And you got one dude who's in his 20s who can go figure this out. And nobody understands why the next day these people aren't arrested and charged with a crime.
Look, this has been going on for a decade. We tried to address this problem when I first got to Congress. I was working with now the Attorney General, Keith Ellison. We recognized almost immediately that they were not sincere about assimilating into our communities and following the laws, Jason. So we started back in 2015 sponsoring a law that would require the Congress to have oversight over refugee resettlement instead of the administration. We followed that up in 2016, trying to defund Homeland Security from using taxpayer dollars to bring Somali immigrants to this country without being vetted by the FBI and the Director of National Intelligence. And we've been sending letter after letter trying to raise the flag on this thing. Finally, it's getting reported. The U.S. attorney in Minnesota estimates this fraud, Jason, could go to $9 billion in Minnesota. And if it's happening here, it's happening in other places as well.
Yeah, no doubt. It's not happening in just Minnesota. And they don't give handcuffs to people in Congress. So, Congressman Tom Emmer, thank you so much for joining us. We do appreciate it.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.